So the Mavic Air just came out, smaller than the Mavic Pro, still got a 4K camera, but everyone wants to know, is it actually better than the Mavic Pro, and how does it compare to the Spark? In this video, we're going to be going over the core differences, the cameras, the new safety features, the two cool new quick shot modes, we're doing a sound test, and a whole lot more. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to let you know which of these drones I would buy if I could only buy one. What's going on, guys? I'm Wabo, and welcome to my DJI Mavic Air vs Mavic Pro and Spark video. Let's roll. There are so many differences between these drones, there's no way I can give them to you all in one video, but I want to give you a cool resource called the DJI Consumer Drone Comparison Tool. Basically, anytime a new drone drops, you can drag it next to other drones you want to compare it to, and you can see all the specs side by side. So I'll leave a link to that in the description, as well as links to where you can buy all these drones, and a link to my website if you're more of a reader than a watcher and you want to read the text review. But let's get right into it. The Spark is the lightest drone on this list at 300 grams, followed by the Mavic Air at 430 grams, followed by the Mavic Pro at 734 grams. The Spark is the smallest drone with the rotary arms extended, but it doesn't have a foldable design like the Mavic line. With the rotary arms collapsed, the Mavic Air is actually the smallest drone on this list. It's thinner than the Spark, and the carrying case for the Mavic Air is way smaller than the Spark's. And I'll put a video up so you guys can get a size comparison of all these drones from different angles. But with weight does come battery life typically, and that is the case here. The Mavic Pro has a battery life of 27 minutes, followed by the Air at 21 minutes, followed by the Spark at 16 minutes. And as far as top speed, the Mavic Air is actually the fastest in sport mode. Holy cow, this thing's fast. But the Mavic Pro is still faster in P mode with the vision sensors enabled. The Mavic Air and Spark both have fixed focus cameras, which pretty much means the camera does its best to focus everything in the shot, as long as it's far enough away. The Mavic Pro has a tap to focus camera where you have to tap on the screen to determine what part you want to be in focus. It's hard to say which is better. Some of the pros of the tap to focus are you can get depth of field shots where the foreground is in focus and the background is out of focus, or vice versa. The problem with the tap to focus is if you're not paying attention, a lot of your shots can be out of focus and ruined. I'll give you an example. You can see as is here, the train is terribly out of focus, but just type it on the screen, it quickly brings the train back into focus. It's hard to say which camera type is better. It just depends on your experience level, what you're using the drone for. For beginners, I think the fixed focus might actually be a little bit better, but it's really up to you to determine that. Looking at max resolution, the Mavic Pro and Mavic Air both shoot 4K Ultra HD at 30 frames per second. The Spark shoots 1080p Full HD at 30 frames per second. And the Mavic Pro can actually shoot a little bit better than 4K. It shoots Cinema 4K, but it does have a lower bit rate than the Mavic Air at 60 megabits per second. The Mavic Air shoots at 100 megabits per second, and the Spark shoots at 24 megabits per second. And the higher bitrate pretty much just means that more data is being stored. It's going to result in cleaner, crisper, more detailed video. And at 100 megabits per second, the Mavic Air is actually in line with the Phantom 4 Pro, which is super impressive for a drone this size. And I have to say, I was skeptical of the Mavic Air at first, but after looking at the video, I would say it is as good. And on paper, it's actually maybe better than the Mavic Pro. But if you do buy the Mavic Air, remember that it does record at 100 megabits per second, so make sure you have an SD card that is capable of recording at 100 megabits per second. I actually didn't, but luckily the Mavic Air is the first DJI drone to come with a built-in internal storage. I think it has 8 gigabytes, and it does fill up quick, but it is a nice feature to have if you don't have an SD card that is capable of recording at that bit rate, or if you happen to forget your SD card. As far as gimbals go, the Spark does have a 2-axis gimbal. Some advantages of a 2-axis gimbal are they're generally less expensive, less delicate, and lighter. But as far as smooth video, you definitely want a 3-axis gimbal, which both the Mavic drones have. Some good things about a 3-axis gimbal is if you're turning or it's a little bit windy outside and the drone's moving around, the camera will stay nice and flat and give you that nice smooth look. As far as the gimbals on these two drones, I like how DJI built the gimbal back a little bit. On the Mavic Air, it protects the camera, makes it so you don't need the bubble shield. And the gimbal clamp is a one-step process to remove, and you're good to fly. With the Mavic Pro, you have to remove the bubble shield to get to the gimbal clamp. And when you're traveling, make sure you have that gimbal clamp back on there, because these 3-axis gimbals are delicate. Now the Mavic Air does have all the same quick shot modes that were incorporated into the Spark, plus 2 additional modes. The first is Boomerang, where the drone starts out close to you, and then flies away while circling your location. It then slows down and begins to come back to you like a boomerang, completing almost a full circle. The second is asteroid, where the drone flies backward and upward while recording a video. At the end of the video, it stops and captures a sphere panorama. It then combines everything together into a short video. And I'll also show you what the screen record from that looks like. Now, while these quick shot modes are cool, we have lost some intelligent flight modes from the Mavic Pro. The first is fixed wing mode, where the drone acts more like an RC plane and the gimbal is locked. The second is terrain follow, where the drone maintains a constant height on uneven ground. And the third is waypoints, where you can set a route on the map. With the Mavic Pro, we did have a gesture mode, but it was pretty weak. With the Spark, we got advanced gesture, which was actually pretty good. And with the Mavic Air, we got smart capture, which is even better than advanced gesture. I found it to be very responsive. And while I don't use this mode a whole lot, I do like that with the new firmware update, they made it so you can operate the drone without the remote controller at all. And I can definitely see some people using this function, especially because just by holding your hand out, you can have the drone lock onto you and follow you. And if you're going somewhere where you're hiking and you don't want to take the extra weight of the controller or just take up space in your bag, you can just take the drone and you can still capture some really cool and unique shots. And I mean, look at the size of the carrying case. This is all you're going to need to bring with you. If you guys are enjoying the video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the description about what I can improve or what you like about the video. It's only my second one ever. If you would subscribe, I'd appreciate that also. I have 0 subscribers right now and I really feel like a loser. Alright, back to the video. As far as video transmission systems and max range, the Mavic Pro is the clear winner here. It has a max range of 7,000 meters compared to the Mavic Air's max range of 4,000 meters and the Spark's 2,000 meters. The Mavic Pro utilizes OcuSync, the other two have enhanced Wi-Fi. And why OcuSync's better is because it automatically scans for local interference. So if you're in an area with a lot of other routers or wireless devices, you won't have to worry about interference. It also has lower latency and better digital compression. So at range, you're not going to get that choppy feed. It also allows you to connect to multiple wireless devices at the same time and the FPV goggles without a cable. So a lot of people were upset that the Mavic Air has enhanced Wi-Fi because of their experiences with the Spark. But one thing DJI did is they built the transmitters into the leg extensions, gets them farther away from the drone. You can think of it like pulling an antenna out of a radio. And a lot of people actually think that those leg extensions are landing gear, but they're actually to give the drone better signal strength. But they also do prevent that gimbal overload warning whenever you're setting the drone in the grass or just getting ready for takeoff. As far as obstacle avoidance and safety features, all of these drones are packed with technology. The Mavic Pro has 2 camera-based obstacle avoidance sensors in the front of the drone, rated at 15 meters. The Mavic Air also has those 2 camera-based sensors in the front, rated at 12 meters. And the Spark has an infrared-based system that's rated at 5 meters, which is still impressive for a drone that inexpensive. Out of these 3 drones, the Mavic Air is the only drone with 2 camera-based, rear-facing obstacle avoidance sensors that are rated at 10 meters. Now, the Mavic Air also has a cool feature called APAS, which I believe stands for Automatic Pilot Assistance System, which instead of like obstacle avoidance, when it comes up to an obstacle, just stop. With APAS enabled, the drone will just navigate around. And I'll actually put up a video to show you guys what that looks like on the live feed. As far as price, when the Mavic Air was dropped, the Mavic Pro was still about $100 more on most sites. But now they're right around the same price on most sites, right around $800, and the Spark's around $400 with the controller. And I do think that these 2 drones should be about the same price because you can make an argument for either drone. They both have a lot of cool features. So I'll leave a product link in the description for all these drones so you can check out the latest pricing information to see if anything has changed, and you can see where I would buy them from. I did do a sound test on all 3 of these drones, including the Mavic Pro with and without the silent propellers, and I was kind of surprised by the results because they were a little different than others that I had seen. But one explanation was because the higher pitch motors of the Mavic Air and Spark, those noises actually dissipate faster than the low pitch of the Mavic Pro. But anyways, I wanted to give you the results as they were, and I found that the Mavic Pro with the standard propellers was the loudest, coming in with a decibel reading on average of 63, followed by the Mavic Pro with the silent propellers with an average decibel reading of 59, followed by the Mavic Air with an average decibel reading of 58, followed by the Spark with an average reading of 57.5. Now I will say that the lower pitch sound of the Mavic Pro propellers was easier on my ears and less annoying, but the sound meter doesn't account for annoyingness. Alright, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. I really don't think you can go wrong with any of these drones. They all have their pros and cons, but let me know in the comments which of these 3 drones you're gonna buy and why, and I'll see you in a future video.